Okay, aloha, beautiful beings of planet Earth in the here and now time. Over the last couple of days, I've been feeling extremely extraordinary. There has been an extreme increase in frequencies coming through and rising up through our planet at this point in time, and I literally have been physically very, very spinny, quite nauseous. It's almost like a vertigo type feeling. So I've just been trying to get myself through these overwhelming feelings, as well as having many, many veils lifted each night. I have been receiving quite big, almost unbelievable downloads. However, I know at this point in my life that what I am receiving is actually becoming more purified aspects of the truth through the downstreams of dilutions from many higher consciousnesses existing in the physical form before they self. So the biggest thing I'm being called to speak into, which is basically just an example more so than pertaining to one existence of a consciousness or to one story, but it is the most well-known story. So it is where we will begin to proceed from at this point in time. Just going to have a quick drink of water. So I'm just going to call in all protection, clear my channel, so it is a direct connection to the purest form of truth, descending down from God Source Creator, energy, consciousness field, Source Unity consciousness field. Some like to refer it to as. Now, there has been a story upon our planet for a very, very long time now, and it's the story of Jesus Christ, Magdalene, Yeshua. Now, this story, in the most relative form of how most people have received and view, is that there was a man that was crucified and was tortured for many, many days and staked upon a cross and passed over, left the physical vessel that he had entered, or the consciousness had entered in form on planet Earth. So what I've actually been receiving is that this is where the distinguishing piece between the difference in the terminology of the name, the frequency being of Jesus Christ or of Yeshua, and the actual difference between these two different aspects of relative form in reality now. So the Jesus Christ aspect has been a story created and represented through mostly the Bible is probably the biggest representation of this actual story. This was created to keep us in a marginalized form of the entirety of all we be, so that we limited and marginalized accessibility to the streamlines of all levels of consciousness that have prior existed, so that we stay in our place of being able to be controlled through fear and be able to be programmed to live within a desired level of matrix reality here upon Earth now. Now, the actual being that is represented in this story, being of true essence of Yeshua, was actually not ever crucified. Yeshua lived on for quite some time after this story was created, and had multiple children and enjoyed existence upon Earth as he held higher dilutions of the Christed consciousness, and that was the first time there was a representation of a higher being come down onto the physical realm of planet Earth to bring these frequencies into the fabrication of our existence, to start to be able to anchor in the desirable codes of the recreation of heaven, which is upon earth, here and now. So this gets really, really, really quite deep and hard to explain. So, for example, there are many people within all of our realms right now, especially if you reside within the spiritual areas, aspects of planet Earth right now, and follow on, the Facebook, the YouTubes. This is where we are being able to get the purest streams of information from at this point in time. However, there are still many, many distortions and recreated versions of many stories through people not being able to access these pure streams of consciousness through the actual creation of not just this story but many other stories of our ascended masters, our deities, etc. So what this does is it has allowed many people to feel like they are the actuality of the return of certain beings, which there isn't necessarily completely distorted representation of this, as we all come from the one original source, and so therefore we all actually hold aspects of these higher consciousnesses. So if you can imagine, when we come down and the first split happens for the divine feminine and the divine masculine, we come down in two, then they split off into another two, so that is four. So it's like the tree of life stemming down, dilating through many, many aspects from the original consciousness of existence. So in saying this, we all hold aspects of Yeshua, of Magdalene, of Isis. There are some of us that our consciousness has existed higher up in the family tree. So our light was turned on, it was ignited before some others, and this is where some are able to access these levels of information and these streams of intelligence coming through these different levels of intelligence through being basically just higher up the stream. But no matter how far down your light was ever ignited, you have still come from the originality of all that is. So you also hold the codes of Christ, you hold the codes of Isis, you hold the codes of Magdalene, you hold the codes of all of what has ever existed in the entirety of all that be. And in knowing this is how we empower each and every individual upon our planet right now, when we realize that we are all part of the same network of fabrication that has created the reality that we sit in the here and now. Now, as we are here in the here and now, in this physical form, in this vessel I be sitting here, this is a choice that I came down to be representation of myself, Anika Gardner, Nika G being the shortened version. I was called as a child this name. So, and in the same time, I feel like there is much resonance with many of the divine beings that have been upon our planet before, and I have the ability to be able to access certain streams and bring certain aspects of information down to be able to utilize this to recreate a more truthful existence and recreate a reality of a much higher frequency, a much higher consciousness, dissolving all fear, and the less we are able to be controlled by the programmatic matrix that is being of forcefully trying to create belief systems that are not aligned with the greater good of all. So there's no judgment or anything coming from this piece. It's simply just been a distorted piece of confusion that has been very, very smartly designed to even create a a separation within the spiritual realm, you know. So even now within the realm where we are trying to raise the consciousness, raise the frequency, there's distortions coming in, creating more separation, which is that divide and conquer program, which is the original creation to completely divide the human consciousness by dividing the original divine feminine and the divine masculine, turning those against each other so that nothing can come to being able to level up into the enormity and the power of all that we be, as not just one but all, in the entirety of all that is, in all moments of space, time, dimensions, here, now, after, in the future. It's all here, it's all now, and we all have the birthright to be able to access each and every aspect of everything we've ever been. So through claiming to be all of one divine being and the entirety of that consciousness, we're actually not only making it harder for others to feel like they can access this and taking away the opportunity for them, we're actually marginalizing ourselves. We are not allowing ourselves to open up to the fullness of receiving everything that we actually are. So, yeah, Yeshua definitely didn't get crucified on the cross. There's more channels that are going to come through, I know this, and I will speak more into them as it evolves from thyself and comes through as I gain more ability to be able to access a multitude of streams. But I hope for now that this brings some clarity to everyone, and can really, really join us, unify us, to network as brothers and sisters in an equilibrium, equalized manner, harmonized, balanced. If we see ourselves in another, how can we not see anything but love in that reflection? Because we have all been, the entirety of all is, in some way, shape or form, in all aspects of relativity. So I am about to be distracted, so I'm going to switch out for now. I don't get much time to be able to bring through message for very long increments. I have 4 children in total, the youngest being 5 at the moment, and yeah, I am consistently interrupted. I can hear this coming very soon. However, it has also given me more of an ability to become a channel that's online consistently, because I have to drop in and out. And now, instead of creating that story for myself and saying I'm dropping out, it needs to be a continual, consistent way of being, the constant way of being all of what we be, in all times, in all ways, in every moment. Okay, so if there's any questions or anything, I'm more than happy for anyone to speak into anything, and anything that could bring more clarity to what I'm actually speaking into, I actually really, really appreciate, because at this point in my life, this is not anything I speak into for any form of recognition or any form of creating any aspect of bringing into thyself, or the monetary, or the bigness, enormity of being someone that knows all of everything. I simply just want to bring through the absolute truth of everything that has been, so we can step into the fullness of everything we came here to be, and finally unify, step away from the divide and conquer, and love truly from the deepest depths of our heart, and come back to that essence, which is the pure essence of our creation in the first place. I love you. I thank you for listening. I see you and I honor you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.